Andrew's Workshop Projects. This one is part 8. Andrew and I continue looking in detail at his latest project, which is a Stuart Models twin-launch steam engine, talking about model boilers and other random things. But first of all, an apology. I made a mistake in the previous video. Before I made the video, I received some very bad news that a very old good friend of mine had died suddenly. And this bad news distracted me and interfered with my brain function, and I numbered the previous episode incorrectly. On the video I called it part 6, but it was actually part 7. This one is part 8, and I'm showing the pistons in the cylinders of this twin-launch steam engine. It really is very well made. Andrew's getting better and better at this job. Over now to the live workshop audio, and Andrew is explaining something.
You're making models,
Yeah.
You know, you don't make a model of the Titanic and look like a sailing ship, do you?
Not really, no. I once fancied making a model of Titanic that actually sunk, with a joint in the middle that split. I've seen some weird and wonderful things. I once saw a submarine in a magazine years and years ago, and it was really, really clever. It was basically just a tank, and you propped the lid of the tank, which was spring-loaded, open with an Alka-Seltzer tablet. And inside the thing were a few Alka-Seltzer tablets. So you put the thing in the water, the Alka-Seltzer tablet that's holding the hatch open dissolves, the hatch closes, the tank's full of water, then the other Alka-Seltzer tablets fizzing away in the bottom, and then with the CO2 they give off, or whatever it is, the submarine surfaces. I wouldn't like to put that to the test. I've got a radio-controlled submarine that is entirely different and does have ballast tanks. There are a lot of clever ideas out there.
Norway, I think it was Norway, made a Stirling engine submarine.
I bet it were hot in that.
They're putting them in space now and on Mars.
What, submarines?
Stirling engines.
Yeah, but look what's happened. The thing's fallen over on the moon.
They weren't the Stirling engine's fault. it only tripped.
Yeah, tripped.
I think it must be AI tripping.
Yeah. AI, this is a thing that everybody's talking about. Artificial intelligence. Artificial insanity. Because definitely the technology is much smarter than the humans that are using it, and that to me is a bit of a worry. Andrew's having a look at this boiler, and we're talking about the burners and the way it works. And this is an odd sort of a boiler. It's a marine boiler with 2 centrifuges. And the centrifuges have cross water tubes. So really when you look at this, it's 6 inches in diameter, and when it's full of water, it really is nearly full of water, because the water tubes aren't fire tubes. How long is it?
9 inches.
9 inches long, 6 inches diameter. That would power a substantial steam engine. The only problem with it is the really nice ceramic burners are all very well, but they don't give out quite as much ferocity as a burner on a blowtorch. If I was to remove those and fit 2 burner heads from the blowtorch, one at each side, it'd make a roaring noise, but it really would steam well. I don't think I'll do that. I think I'll leave it as it is and think of an application for it. It's certainly not going to be used to drive this Stuart number 9. It would be good to drive a triple expansion engine. That would be quite good. Plenty of water capacity, and it's about physically the right scale. If we look at the scale of this,
I think it dominates it quite a lot. I put it in another room.
yeah. No,
A boiler room.
No, put it in another boat. Towed behind this one. Yeah.
A trailer boat.
Yeah, a trailer boat, yeah. So all you've got in the middle of your boat is a beautiful engine, you know, with little LED lights shining on it, and then you can tow that lump behind it. I once had one that was 5 inches in diameter. It wasn't man enough for a twin launch. These things use a lot of steam when they're running.
Yes, I did note that when I think I watched something that you said previously on a twin, that they do take up steam. Well, it's twice the capacity of what I've made, isn't it?
Exactly, just the same as the twin 5A over in the corner. I ran that in the garden on the Castle steam boiler, which is big, and it's 6 inches in diameter, quite tall, very efficient and coal fired. and it ran it, but I was constantly having to feed water into it. It's got a Southworth 1 foot long pump on it, a steam pump that fills it with water. So it was not struggling, but I couldn't really get it above 50 or 60 psi, and it is designed to run at about 100. But this would be great for a boat, but it's going to have to be a big 6 foot long thing. And then you've got the problem of getting it in your car, and then you've got the problem of getting it out of your car and down to the lake. I'm not getting any younger. Those days are gone. I mean, it was enjoyable while it lasted, but I don't want to get a hernia. I've never had a hernia, but I bet they're quite painful. Andrew's going to explain about this collet system of holding the flywheel in place on the crankshaft.
So the collet itself is basically expanding it to the flywheel and expanding it onto the shaft as you screw these screws in. So it pinches both items. Obviously you have to machine out the flywheel, but it means you don't have to put a great big hole through.
Can you use some bolts that are somewhere near scale?
No.
What do you mean no?
Because I'd have to make them.
Well, no, you wouldn't. You'd just put them in your rotary table.
Would you like me to use cap head screws?
Oh God, no.
Well, they'll be on inboard, so you won't really see.
All a question of scale. All a question of scale.
Yeah, it's going to be the other way round. But it's a neat little idea.
It is. It's a very good idea.
I don't like grub screws on flywheels.
No, I'm not thrilled with grub screws, period.
I mean, look at that number 9 with a beautiful keyway.
I would use these, namely that. Now, Andrew likes machining. I don't particularly like machining, but I would sit, and you can do it while you're watching TV. Bit of lubrication, and you can do it ever so gently. I once read something in Model Engineer about a man who was making a locomotive, and he didn't have a lathe. He got somebody to turn some wheel blanks, and then he drilled them. And he went to work every morning and sat with a needle file doing this on the journey, 2 hours a day apparently. After quite a while, the engine won some sort of award. It was absolutely beautiful. I'm not pressing on hardly at all. And then there's draw filing where you do it that way.
Machining this gunmetal is not pleasant on a mill.
I know, and a big problem with gunmetal, and if you want some more fun, try alum bronze. You need the sharpest of sharp tools. It just rides over the gunmetal and bruises it.
I have to say, that file is not to scale.
It's controlled scratching for about a year. Then finish it off with some of this. You get out what you put in, and when you look at the finish on, and I know I'm going on about this, the finish on this number 9 is exemplary. And not only is its finish beautiful, it runs well. Although there is a bit of a problem with it, which I will be doing a video about. But that won't be for a while, because I don't want to disturb this engine as it's so well made. I'm going to finish this episode with this really good example of a Stuart number 9 steam engine running on compressed air on the bench. That's it for now. Stay safe, stay healthy. Thanks for watching, and I hope you found it useful. Please take the time to visit my Mainsteam Models website and click on the section of the website that says Video Playlists. And by doing that, you can find other videos that you may like to watch. And by using the playlists, you can actually watch the videos back to back.